Okay, I have started the recording, and I would like to welcome everybody to Info2Go today. Today, we are excited to have with us two special guests, Cindy Wardell and Cindy Lundy from Idaho Public Television.
Try that again. Kari Wardell.
Wardell. Oh, did I say Cindy and Cindy?
Yes.
Oh, man.
It's all right.
Now. Kari, smile and wave. Cindy from Idaho Public Television. That's great. My name is Tammy Hollyhouse. I'm here with the Idaho Commission for Libraries. This session is being recorded so that our friends who are not available today to watch it can view it whenever it's convenient for them. This event is brought to you by the Idaho Commission for Libraries with some funding support from the Institute of Museum and Library Services. And without further ado, we will turn it over to Kari and Cindy.
All right, hi, we're gonna share our screen here. So give me, I hope we're gonna share our screen. I don't see it now.
Do you need to open up your computer?
It doesn't, it's not my computer. It is. Hold on, we're having some technical difficulties.
Check at the very top. Sometimes it hovers up at the top.
Well, I have the share, but it doesn't show my actual screen when I do it. I'm gonna just
okay.
Share this. Okay. Oh, there we go. Can you guys see that now?
Yep. You did good. You got it.
We have new equipment, you guys, so please be patient with us. My name's Kari Wardell, and I am the teacher ambassador here at Idaho Public Television. So my role is really to support teachers and educators. I typically, in the area of technology integration, I'm a huge tech nerd, and so I love to help teachers implement technology in their classroom. I come from the classroom myself, so I taught 5th grade for about 10 years, and I was an aide before that, and so now I work here supporting teachers. So we'll be talking about some cool technology resources that you can use in your classroom today. If you want, I'm going to give Cindy a second to introduce herself as well, but just a quick housekeeping thing here. If you'd like a copy of this slide deck or you'd like to follow along, here's the link that you can get to. All of the icons on our slides will take you to the websites that we're going to discuss. So you might want a copy of this later if you want to go pull those up and play with them a little bit later. So this is case sensitive, and you can type that into your browser and it should bring you right up to our website. I have a teacher Facebook page and a Pinterest page that I populate material as well. So if you're on those and want to follow them, please do that. And then I've got a couple of other links here. So check those out. And then we're going to tag team this thing here. So we're going to turn the time over to Cindy, and you'll be hearing from me again in a few minutes.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cindy. I'm the education specialist at Idaho Public Television. I lead all of actually I'm the lead for all the education programs, but primarily my focus is on community outreach to families. So while Kari's working with the teachers, I'm working with parents and children around the state and doing a lot of educational programs in both STEM, science programs primarily, and literacy. So I have worked with some of you before. I recognize some of the names that were popping up. So it's pretty fun types of things we get to do. A lot of hands-on activities with children and parents around the state. So today we're going to show you some of the cool resources that PBS has that are available to anyone for free to use if you want to be doing outreach with families or with educators. And I think there's some pretty cool stuff, and we're going to jump right into that.
This is just the tip of the iceberg. Just note we have a ton of things. So please, our email addresses are here. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions. But these are some really great resources that we just really like. So let me see if we can go to the next slide. All right, here we go.
So the first place I want to show you is called PBS Kids for Parents. And PBS Kids for Parents is a fairly new website that just was launched recently. And I got to make sure I have to stretch to get my mouse to work here. So
Click
it,
yes so that goes off.
I'm sorry. I'm going to click that, yes, Idaho Public Television is my station. And if you go here, and no matter where you live in the country, it'll go to your local PBS station. But then the shows is just the different various kids shows. But under play, there's what I want to show you is some of the cool things. If you go to crafts and experiments, for example, you can organize by age. So if I had a 5-year-old that I was trying to find things for, and I wanted to find activities in science, I've got, it looks like, how many results did I get there? 121 results. And it's all fun activities that kids can do. Sink or Float is one I've done with a lot of the libraries and different outdoor programs, where you actually have your child try guessing what things are going to sink or float. And that's a cat in the hat activity, and that's pretty cool. So I won't show you the video because that doesn't always work well with our audio system here, but it's really cool experiments that kids can do with their parents. And the other thing that's on this website, and if you go under the Thrive, if you're having issues, like there's a lot of great articles for parents about things that might be happening with your child. They're also organized. You can also go by the age. So your 3-year-old's giving you some issues and it's social skills. You can go, well, I need more help with empathy. And it allows you to find all kinds of great articles and information on what you can be doing. And they even connect it to some of the ongoing programs, like Daniel Tiger might have a video that you want to watch with your child that might help them with this issue. So there's some really cool stuff in here. And we're just encouraging families to utilize this new site.
You can sign up for a monthly, to get a monthly email as well. And I've been getting those the last couple months, and they're pretty cool. So you get kind of a, here's the highlights. So.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Let's go back up. I'm gonna show you the next slide. And at the end, we'll give you lots of chance for questions, but you can also put your questions into the chat if you have additional questions that you want us to answer.
Please ask questions. We are willing to do that.
So the second place I want to show you is a really cool site called Sesame Street in Communities. And if you've never been to this site, I would really recommend it. Sesame Street in Communities is set up with both information for providers or for parents and caregivers, and they're slightly different. I use the provider side quite a bit, so we're going to start on the provider.
Okay.
And I just want to show you, so if you go to the topics section, they have all these different areas that they've developed for children that are dealing with incarceration, or with a family member that's going into the military, that's in the military, or a person that's facing homelessness. And each one of them has a ton of materials under it. So I am going to go, let's choose resilience, because that's for trauma, children who have experienced trauma. Oh, it wants me to say, yes, I am a provider. And under resilience, again, they have it organized that you can do by age or type of activity. But if you scroll down, you can see all these different videos and information that you can use. And the other thing I want to show you, so in this resilience, is under the professional development at the top. Sorry, my mouse is not working very well. If you go to the courses and interactive trainings,
Maybe click provider and see if it'll stop doing that.
sorry, it's just, okay. Under like the brave, strong, resilient, they actually have a whole guide on how to work in a classroom setting or with other educational settings with children, with a full curriculum that's pretty impressive on dealing with children who have experienced trauma. So this site has a lot of depth to it. There's some really cool sort of surface activities that parents can do with the children, but then as an educator, you can find a ton more material here. So I just wanted to show you that.
This is a great, I mean, it's great for parents, but it's also, I've got school counselors that just love this website for working with kids that they're working with in counseling.
And there's a ton of fun little kid activities on this as well. I mean, it's just like little projects you can do with your children and all kinds of topics. So it's a really cool one if you haven't checked it out. So the next place I want to show you is Plum Landing. Most people have never heard of Plum Landing. Plum Landing is a PBS Kids site. And again, in this one, it's organized by parents and educators. I really like the parents site on this. So if you say you're a parent and then you scroll down, you'll find do a science activity. And again, another step, but activities. You'll find that they have all these cool little programs for kids. Most of them are outdoor ones for this one. But you can, like, I've done the build a watershed activity. And when you I do this outside. I can't imagine the video shows them doing in somebody's house. This is so messy. I would never do it inside, but outside it works great. You build a fake watershed and then pour water on it and see how it forms lakes and rivers and those kind of things. So again, there's a lot of background material with each of these. There's lesson guides, there's videos that go with it, and they're really cool activities.
If you go to the educators site, it's equally as awesome.
Yep.
And it has kind of tracks for you to lead activities with kids. Here's as the educator, you can lead some with families. And then they have, like if you're doing an after school group, they have several weeks of after school. You can run a club, and then you can run a camp, which these activities are like longer 2-3 hour activities that you could do, like, for a half-day camp or a full-day camp, whereas the after-school ones are just kind of designed to be like an hour or whatever. So there's also a lot of really great stuff here for teachers, and it tells you that 1 hour after school, there's week-long after-school clubs, and then a week-long camp. So these after-school ones are all just individual activities. Then these are designed to be a week-long, so you would explore a week of city life, a week of weather, a week of deserts, and then these are all for camps, so they're longer and all-inclusive. So this is some really great stuff as well for if you're hosting after-school programs or doing camps or things like that for educators. So I'm going to talk about this one, and then we'll go back to Cindy. One of the places that I love, and that we know that not a lot of people know about, is PBS Learning Media, which is, I'm going to click on that and I'm going to show you, this is the PBS site. It's basically a content management system where PBS stations from across the nation contribute content. There's a lot of really cool things about this. This is the homepage. You can sign up for an account. You don't have to. You can still use all of these resources without being signed up. The benefit of signing up, though, is that it allows you to save and favorite materials. You can create your own folders and use them from year to year. And so you'll see that this is kind of the homepage. These usually change every day, where they're just fun little, like, here, back to school's coming up, so here's some lessons from Daniel Tiger about being separated from our parents, and how we deal with that, and some professional development stuff. You can choose the subject or the grade or both. This is usually local, so any of the local, we get to populate this, so local events or things that are happening here in Idaho would be found here. And then these are really awesome collections, and a collection I think of as like unto a unit, basically. So you'll see that this is our collection here. Within the Science Trek resource collection, there's 138 resources just in that one collection. This crash course one has 437 resources. So these are awesome. I want to show you a couple of things that you can do with this. You'll note up here also that you can search by content standard. This is a really great website for teachers and school librarians who obviously need to align things to classroom standards. I want to show you this one resource that I like. So if I click into any of the videos, I can filter further here. So I could choose grade levels and I can choose what type of resource I want. There's several different resources in here and different types of resources. And so you can filter that out. And then it tells you the grade level that this is the most appropriate for. And if I click on iHeart Math, there's a couple of things that you'll notice with this is all of it is compatible with Google Classroom. So there are a lot of schools and teachers that use that. It's really easy, especially if when you're signing in, if you use single sign-on with Google and you use your school account, then it will automatically sync it to your Google Classroom as well. And then it's just a matter of a couple clicks. So instead of having to go out to Google Classroom, copy and paste links, and you can just do all of it from right here. But you can also get just a link to this as well that you want to share with students. You'll notice if we have been given the rights by the producers that a lot of the resources are available for download as well. So if your internet isn't great at the school or the library where you're working, you can download these and save them to your computer. They're going to come with support materials. So this one, just this one, you'll see has a bunch of support materials for it. There's the activities and then the lesson plans that go with this for the teachers. So I love that as well. So all of those go with just this one video. And then if you click here, you'll see standards. Now, it's going to link to national standards. It also will link to Idaho content standards. I'm not signed in, so it's not linking me to those. But if you sign in and give it an account and create an account, then it will also link to the Idaho content standards. So it links us to national, it'll link to Common Core, the science standards link to the NG, the next gen science standards as well. And then the Idaho content would be underneath here.
So it also, if you're in a different state, it'll go to your local public station and use that as the basis for the standards it uses. So.
Yes, so I thank you. I noticed that there were some people from Georgia and Iowa and whatever. It will link to your state content standards, but you have to sign up for an account to do that. That's how it knows what state you're in, and then it will localize. So it localizes to all of the 50 states. You can also search for materials by standard as well. So if I'm looking for a particular standard that I want to find materials to teach on, I can link it to that. I can favorite resources to come back to later. And when you create an account, then you'll notice also the teacher tools that are on here that allow you to also create things like a storyboard that you can then share out with students. You can create your own kind of interactive lesson plan where students can watch a video and answer some questions about things. And you can create online kind of word searches and crosswords. There's a puzzle builder. So there's a bunch of teacher tools. Maybe I can. There is just no telling if I'm going to remember the password on the first time. I always feel like it's Russian roulette, you know? So let me see if I can get my technology to work here. And I could show you the teacher tools, but I'm not sure that we are going to have success here. Now I get my fingers in the right place. Sorry, I should have signed in before. I forgot that it does this. I always sign in from my own computer, which does it automatically. Oh, look at that. First try, you guys. I might go play the lottery today or something later. Let me just show you then. So now you'll see that it says my name here. And if I click on that, I can go to my dashboard. So this is the teacher dashboard. You'll see here, I said that we could do a storyboard where I can create one and then share with students. I can build my own interactive lesson. So I can find some cool videos that I want and put them in there. I can create just a quick multiple choice or short answer quiz, and I can do a puzzle builder. You can also use this as a learning management system. So if you don't have access to Google Classroom, your students can also have an account on Learning Media. And you could create a class and share resources with them that way without having to use some other. There was a librarian not too long ago that didn't have any of those kinds of resources. And so she told me she was going to use this for that. So students can have an account as well. And then you can create assignments and share with them. But I can also favorite resources. So if I find resources that I just love, I can favorite those. And I love being able to favorite because in addition to being able to favorite, I can write notes next to them. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'd find this cool video and I'd save it somewhere. And then over the summer, you know, you lose things. And then I would come back and I'd be like, oh, why did I even need that video, right? So you could put notes in right here, like this is great to go with my science unit on animals or whatever. So any of the resources that you save, you can put notes in, and then you can create folders as well. So you can then organize your resources into folders. So if I want to teach ELA, I don't think I have any resources in there, but you can save everything in a folder, and then you can even share that entire folder with a colleague. So if I have a whole bunch of cool resources and then I want to share them with another librarian, here's the URL to that, and I can just send them that, and then they would get access to see everything that I've put in that folder, which could be lesson plans or links or whatever I wanted to do. So there's a lot of really cool teacher tools as well within this. This is if I've created any classes, they would show here, or I can import a class from Google Classroom, as you can see. These will be the classes that I've created, and then I could log in and get students signed up to my class as well. So this is a really awesome tool, and we know that not a lot of teachers know about it. And so we're really working to kind of get the word out there that this exists. I just gave you a really surface level view today, but one of the things that I do is help provide kind of training and professional development as well. So if this is something that your school is interested in, I can come and provide training on that. I know that as an educator myself, we had Discovery Education for a while, and this is PBS's version that's like unto Discovery Education. And it's a pretty cool resource. We've got local stuff that we're contributing here as well, you'll notice. And so this is kind of your one-stop shop to find PBS things. The cool thing about this is that it's things like Ken Burns has an entire collection, but it's, you know, snippets from his documentaries. So you're probably not going to watch an 18-hour documentary on the Vietnam War with your, you know, 9th graders. But there's a whole bunch of things from his Vietnam War documentary where they're, you know, 4 to 5 minute little videos. And then there's lesson plans to go with that. So this is pretty much the stuff that's on PBS, and then we kind of package it for classroom use here.
And you don't have to be a teacher to use it. Parents use it all the time. Homeschoolers definitely use it all the time. And, you know, even teenagers that are doing a report can use this to find information on the Vietnam War or whatever they were working on. This is perfectly fine for anyone to use this site.
The thing that I love about having kiddos use this site is that it's PBS, right? So you know that they're going to find safe content and content that can be used in the classroom. So it's also kind of a safe place for kids to go. And again, it's free. And most kids, especially in those upper grades, most schools now, kids have a Gmail address. So it's super easy for them to just, it's not another password that they have to try and remember. They can just do the same thing where they sign on. It asks if you're a teacher or a student or a parent when you're signing up. And then it will kind of tailor the experience. And the student site, it looks different than this site. In fact, I can click and show you the student site. So from a student perspective, this is what I would see. And I would be able to click on any assignments that I've been given and projects from my teacher, but I can also just search right here and find resources as well, or it filters by subject and content area. So this is the student version, and they can favorite resources as well. So if they find things that they really like, then they would be able to favorite those as well and share them with each other also. So this is a super versatile website, and just a ton of resources that you can use for kind of cross grade level. And then I want to just show you, there's some links on here. These are resource sheets that were created. These are not all inclusive, but I was trying to kind of give teachers a place to go. So these are some resources, because there's a ton of resources on learning media. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming. You don't know where to start or exactly what to look for. So if you click on any of these, it's going to ask you to make a copy. That's on purpose, because I don't want you typing mine, but you're welcome to make a copy of those. And then you'll notice that it's organized, and it's just a Google Doc, and it's just a place for you. You're welcome to then take notes, write on it, and keep these and do what you'd like with them. But these are just some resources that I think are great, that were put together to kind of help you have a place to go. So if I'm looking for social emotional learning, here's some great collections on learning media, and these will link you right to those. So on this learning media slide, you'll notice that there are several links. Those are all links to different resource sheets for each of those subjects. So you're welcome to use those, to share them, to do whatever you'd like with them. And those are yours to add to or take notes or whatever you would like to do with those. So I just wanted to make sure that I point those out to you.
So one of my favorite places is Nova. I love the show Nova. And for older students and kids that might be working, Nova has some amazing online resources now. They used to have a separate education page, but they're switching to using learning media as their primary site too for their education materials. And I just want to show you that if you had a student that was interested in some topic, there's drop-down menus on the side here, and there's lots of different levels here that they can find information. If you have a student that comes in the library or wherever and wants information on energy, there's a lot of wonderful resources in here. And these are all from Nova. So Nova definitely has a high quality materials, and they have, just as we showed you with the other ones, not just video clips, but also like the background information that goes with them. So if you clicked on one of these, any of those, you get the main item, which is like the video about it. But then there's also support materials underneath. And those support materials have information, background reading, discussion questions for an educator to use. But it's also really helpful for a student who's learning about this. So pretty cool information. And Nova does such a wonderful job on theirs. So I just wanted to point that one out as an example. So it does really work for all ages. It's basically pre-K through college level materials are available on this site.
And I added this is a pretty cool collection, Nova Science Now, that's also on learning media. This is just really short. Science Now is a fast-paced, kind of entertaining science program, and that often catches kids and makes them be interested in it because of the format that it's used. And you'll notice that they're not very long. So there's like 4 minutes, 3 minutes. So anyway, Science Now is a really cool collection to look at as well. Okay. This is, Cindy and I both will probably point people to this all the time. We love Design Squad Global. It's a PBS website. It is obviously, probably you gathered by the name, centered around design. They have a ton of engineering and design types of resources, and you'll notice that there's also a parents and educators site here. But I just want to show you a couple of things. If you go to, is it design?
Build is very most.
If you go to build, I mean, there's cool all over, but you can also obviously filter by different types, but you'll notice all of these things. And if you look at the materials, it's typically stuff that you have at home, or that you like rulers, cardboard, right? So it's designing and engineering things out of stuff that most of the time you have. And if you don't have it, it's pretty cheap. And so I love that. So this is hands-on. And if I click on any one of these, like this sky glider, there's always a video that shows you the examples of somebody building it and talks a little bit about it. And then step-by-step materials, right? So see that copy paper, cardboard tubes, balloons, paper clips, like who doesn't already have that stuff probably in a storage room in your library, right? And then it gives you step-by-step what to do. And even kind of some questions to go with it. And so these are super fun activities that kids usually really love to build, and that are pretty simple for kids to be able to build. So that one's on the build. They also, as you can see, have some games and some design challenges that you can do. But if you go to the Parents and Educators website, I love this as well. So you can find a ton of stuff just under those activities. But you'll note that there's lesson plans here for teachers. And again, they're filtered. You can filter here by engineering, design process, green design, right? So there's other filters. And all of these are, you make, like for this one, you make a string of glowing lights that you dance with. And then, but it's a lesson plan centered around that whole thing. So it's more than just here's the activity. This is an all-inclusive lesson plan that you could just take and do it in class, or there's a piece for you to extend it for them to do at home, and then a wrap-up thing. So this is cool. The other thing that I love that Design Squad does is they have Design Squad Global Clubs. So this is designed for kind of an after-school program, and they run a 6-week or a 12-week program, and they basically will match you with a global partner club. So there's a form that you fill out for free right here for the sign-up, and here's the dates. So if you want to host a club that runs from the 1st of February, which is happening right now, if you wanted to run the September ones, we've missed all the deadlines, but they update that every year. And then what they do is you give information about your club, what are the age groups, what are kind of some of your focuses, and then they match you with global partners, and you kind of get together and video conference or, teleconference, however you want to do it, and you work to design some sort of engineering and design problem. It's pretty cool. I don't know that anybody in Idaho has done this, and I really want someone to. I try all the time to be like, please do this. I'll come and I'll like video it and I'll show you. But I don't think anybody has. But they talked to, but there's just so many great things. If you watch this little video, it explains it and shows you kind of some kids doing this where they partnered with some students in like Africa. So it's not just, we'll hook you up with somebody in, Montana. It is kind of these global partners. So if that's something that you run an after school program or a summer program or whatever, it's pretty cool. And they have the activities and they get you all set up and help you facilitate it. And if you do it, please tell us, because we would love to come and be a part of it and help, with whatever. So that is Design Squad.
And I get some of my best activities off of Design Squad. That's where I do balance magic from, catapults, all kinds of great activities are found on that site.
There's a ton of cool, really great hands-on STEM activities. So we're big fans of Design Squad around here. And then another personal favorite of mine, because I told you I'm a computer nerd, is PBS Kids Scratch Junior, which is a coding app. And it's designed, so I'll tell you, PBS says K to 3rd grade. It's specifically designed for younger kids, but I have done it with 4th, 5th, and 6th graders who have loved it equally as much. But it's a great beginning coding app, and it's an app. So it's only available on a tablet or some Chromebooks. Most new Chromebooks now are coming. If your Chromebook can load the Google Play Store apps, then you can do this. I'll tell you, it's a little bit glitchy on a Chromebook, I'm not going to lie, but it works. And I have a list if you're interested or need to know of which Chromebooks are compatible with this. But it works really great on like an Amazon Fire or iPads or even Samsung Galaxies. It will work on phones that have a screen bigger, 7 inches or bigger. I'm not going to lie, it's hard on a little screen like phone to drag the blocks, but it does work on phones that are bigger than 7 inches. And the cool thing about this app, there's a lot of really cool things, but you might have heard of Scratch, which comes from MIT. MIT also has a Scratch Junior version. So they actually created this. PBS then partnered with them. And if you download the PBS Kids Scratch Junior, then it has the PBS Kids characters that kids can code, which is usually pretty engaging for kids. Because, you know, they can put the wild crafts in Arthur's world and code them, or they can do whatever they want with Word Girl or whatever. So it has PBS Kids characters and backgrounds if you do the PBS Kids ones. If you just do the Scratch Junior, the blocks are exactly the same. Kids can code with both of them. Just the PBS one has the PBS Kids characters. But the cool thing also about this is that we have also created lesson plans for you, for teachers. And when I say we, I don't mean me, because I didn't create these, but PBS did. And this is a great website, and it has lesson plans that scaffold the kids through how to code. So this is the first one. It's Tree Problem, and it gives you an overview of it. It gives you the goals. If you hover over any of these that are underlined, it gives you the definition. Tells you what you need. I love this piece. They all come with design handouts. So this is so that the kids can plan ahead of time. And when I do this with older kids, I'm a stickler about this. I make them plan it ahead of time, and they have to like approve this with me before they move on. But they can plan, and then there's a reflection piece on the other side. So you can print just one side, or you can print double-sided, and they all come with this piece to allow the kids to plan. And then they also all come with an already created parent handout, which you'll notice is in English and in Spanish. And it's just a half sheet, and it's questions that parents can ask their kids about that lesson. So I love that home to school or home to library activity connection. And it's giving parents helping with those conversation pieces. There's always an unplugged game. So this one is Simon Says, that you play using the coding blocks. And then these are the blocks that the kids will be learning how to use in this lesson plan. And for the teachers, the cool thing is that if you click on this, it tells you how to do it in case you have forgotten or don't know. It walks it through for you how to use that block. And then they all have a little video. So this one is Peg plus Cat. At the end of the video, Cat ends up stuck in a tree, and then the kid's job is to code him out of the tree afterwards. So it'll end with him in the tree, and then the kids get him down. So they watch this video, and then it tells you here what their task is. If you click on these, it gives you some examples. So Cat's saying help, and he's stuck up there in the tree. And you'll notice, because it's the PBS Kids app, these backgrounds are within the app. And then there's always a coding challenge, a math extension, and a literacy extension. So the coding challenge is, you know, that kid who catches on quickly and he's done in 10 minutes and the rest of the class isn't. This is something that you could give him to kind of take that to the next level, and then a math and literacy extension. So all of the lesson plans follow the same basic format. They all have an unplugged game, and then a video that you watch, and then their coding task centers around the video. But you'll notice that there's other things in here, such as how-to cards. I will tell you, I don't often see kids using these, but these are a great resource for teachers and librarians who want to know how to do something. And this is just a PDF that can be printed off if you want. So there's that. There's also certificates that you can print for the kids. So they can go through the coding program, and you can print this off and give it to them. And there's a cool badge that you can put on social media. And I'm a nerd, so I love all this kind of stuff. And I totally put it everywhere. I think I have one in my email signature. Like I'm a nerd about it. But there's also little videos and workshops and things here. So this is a great website for you. And what I often tell teachers is that this is a great way for students to begin to learn to code. You'll notice when you get into the app that kids don't have to know how to read to do this. So it's really good for kindergartners who aren't reading yet. It also, you can toggle it into English and Spanish. So the blocks and the instructions and everything will be in Spanish if you want them to. So I love this app. I code with it all the time. And I also go and do things where I teach the lesson to the kids, or I come and teach the teachers how to do it as well. So if you're into coding, then this is a great thing to do. And if you're not, then you should start getting into coding, and I would love to help you because I don't know the statistics off the top of my head, but I have them. But something like in 2015, I think it was 50% of the jobs in the upper income quartile required coding. And even outside of tech industry jobs are requiring coding. So it's kind of a new skill. So, oh, look at that. I think we're just about right on time. So that's kind of not everything that PBS has, obviously, but those are the things that we kind of felt like would be useful to you that we really wanted to highlight. So does anybody have any questions, or is there anything else we can show you?
Looks like Krista has her hand up. Krista, I have enabled your microphone should you have one. You can go ahead and try to talk. If that doesn't work, just put your question in the chat box.
I don't see the chat box. Oh, look at Tammy dropping all those links in the chat.
Krista, we're not hearing you, so I'm guessing that maybe your mic is not working. So do you want to go ahead and type your question in the chat box? There she goes. You see that?
Yes, my name is Kari Wardle. Let me go back and I can give you my contact information. The other thing that might be of interest to you is that I have, I've designed a professional development course that's available through ISU. It's online and self-paced, and I walk you through teaching yourself how to code. And it's available for professional development credit as well. So, but also I'm happy to come to your library or wherever. So my name is Kari. Let me go back right here. This is me, Kari Wardle. There's my email address where you can shoot me an email, and I'm happy to help. If you're interested in doing the online course, I can send you the link to that as well. So if you just want to send me an email, Krista, and tell me that you saw me on the webinar, and I'm happy to connect with you on learning how to code.
Do we have any other questions?
You guys, Cindy comes to libraries.
Yes, all the time.
And she does like story times and STEM activities, and she's awesome. So I'm just throwing that out there because she doesn't have enough to do. But she does. She visits libraries. So if that's something that interests you as well, she comes and does story times.
I was lucky to go on a ride-along with her.
Yeah.
Library, and did all kinds of science experiments, and it was great fun.
And I saw that Dina was online here at one point, and I've done a lot of programs in American Falls with her.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah. We have someone from Jerome here, Meridian, Community Library Network. Lauren, which Which location are you at in Kootenai County? We also have Marlene from Garden Valley. I'm just going down the attendees list.
Dina loves Cindy.
So that was a lot of information. I hope we didn't overwhelm you with all of that.
I know we're trying to like fit everything into 45 minutes, and this is the other thing I always tell teachers too, is that if there's something you're looking for, we probably have a resource for it.
Yeah.
If you shoot us an email and say, I'm doing something with this, because this is the tip of the iceberg that we shared with you today. We're happy to help kind of find resources as well. But I know there was a lot of information jam-packed in there.
Well, I think it's good. And hopefully, like you said, now people have a couple faces and ways to contact you, and can use you guys as a resource base, which is great. And just thank you so much for everything you've done for libraries. It's been a really great partnership. Having the outreach of Idaho Public Television kind of reinvigorating, and having you two there, it's great.
Thank you, Tammy. Thanks for putting this on.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So one last shot at any questions. Go ahead and type them in or raise your hand. And, otherwise, we'll let these two get back to.
Slide deck will be available for as long as you want it. So if you want to go back and look at that, we'll leave it and make it available.
So Kari, when I tried it, it was asking for permissions.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably just because I didn't change my settings.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I will fix that right now, and then it really will be available, and you will not need permission. Let me just change my share settings.
And I will try to put it in the follow-up email. I'll get back here with it. And that way, those of you that are on, I'll just send it as part of the email.
Oh, well, it's.
Are you okay if I link it from our website as well?
Oh yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you so much.
Has anybody else tried to pull it up? The share settings say that it's viewable. So I'm just wondering why
I was getting the.
It wasn't working.
Yeah. Marlene said she cannot see it.
Marlene, is it saying that you need permission?
That's what mine said. I didn't bother clicking the. Let's see, did I get it right this time? Okay, I'm in now.
Okay, I wonder if I just triggered something, but I just went back in and made sure it was set to view. So
yeah,
hopefully it's going to work now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in. Somebody else is in too. Okay.
Looks
Great.
like we're in good shape now. So thank you.
Okay, you betcha.
It could have been an operator error. Often that is the case.
I've done that before.
When I'm the operator.
No worries.
There is the URL, those of you, if you want to make sure you can get in. But otherwise, thank you again. It's been a pleasure. Great way to spend a Monday. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys. You'll probably be at Idaho Library Association with a table this year. Not to put you on the spot. It's not till October.
I don't think I've actually signed up for that yet, but I think I might have had a conflict. But
okay, yeah, it's always the first week in October. So you might have something else going on. But thank you, everybody. And join us again next month. We have a webinar coming up on using some technology in a library. So I hope to get all of that info posted very soon here. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.